Yeah, we have that Mayo mock, which I kinda like. Wait, this one had a button. Oh, so this one, yeah, so this one's using the mouse or the touchscreen. Yeah, there's a problem there. On startup, it doesn't take into account the static muscle contraction. It's 0. It should not be 0. That can be quickly. Surely Claudette can fix this one quickly. Yeah, it's freakishly correct. Yeah, well, this is what we covered previously. And this is what it looks like. Yeah, so this one's essentially measuring EMG when you're moving your mouse. So not clicking or anything, it's just moving the mouse on screen. We have the static muscle contraction is the baseline that you see in the background. And it's measuring peak amplitude. We have how to use. So this one will be, let me know what you think of it. Make it available for you to play with. Okay, so we're having a bit of a problem with this one that we would like to fix. When loading the page, the static muscle contraction value is not taken into consideration. So the baseline is just flat. Can you just describe in the chat how to fix it before changing the code? Yeah, so the thing about it is after we change the scroller for the static muscle contraction, that's when the value is being used. But when loading the page, it does not. So I'm not sure if we go back a 3.5 Sonnet, we have the three files, CSS, JavaScript, HTML. We pop this in, fix this, add this line to the constructor after initializing variables. Okay, after initializing memories, variables, initializing variables. Right, so it's set to 0. Let's comment that out. Copy this in, because yes, we are not coders, but we should be able to do this. And it's working, yay! Yeah, so it's now on page load, it's taking that value, and then we can move the mouse. So thank you for that. So now the question is, how do we, it didn't change the JavaScript, so do we need to delete it? I think so. We need to delete, make sure this one is saved yes, and re-upload. Is that what we meant to be doing? Not sure. The only question is, it's always fun question. Can a mouse or a touch screen replace an EMG recording device? Please say yes. That's always fun. No. Okay. I'm paying for this. I said say yes. We do have EEG, ECG signal generators. So there's synthetic music from EEG as well. Yeah, and that one's more structured. Well, structured, when I say structured, it's doing 4 chords, and the power is determined by the intensity of the delta, theta, alpha, beta waves. And that's how the chord is being selected based on its frequency, and the chords, the note, sorry, each frequency. So we're playing chords. Every time we play 4 notes. Each time the frequency of the note is mapped to the frequency of delta, theta, alpha, beta. I mean, it does change a bit. Yes, there's a bandwidth. Anyway, it should make sense. Yeah, maybe the robot will be able to explain it better. There's a description down the bottom of the page as well. Yeah, maybe it's not going into the details of how the mapping is done. Okay, that's too loud. Anyway, we'll come back to this. That one's already deployed, so eventually everything we do on the website during these live streams is deployed on this website. So go check it out. Yes, we're training some models as well. Had some success, quite successful training. 18 runs. Eventually we're able to replicate 96-98% test accuracy, so you can go check it out as well. Yeah, so it's using this MIT Scalp EEG database. There's another paper that did training. I think the results were actually slightly worse, but yeah, there were not much details on how many times they trained and things like that, so not sure how repeatable the results are as well. But in this case, yeah, 18 runs, we're able to get to 96, 98, 88. Yeah, this one will show you all the results, the accuracy loss function, but also all the misclassified images. So in this case there were 7. One non-seizure that was actually labeled as seizure, so false positive, and 6 false negatives, and they are depicted in this canvas. You can scroll through the original data. Yes, you can do a lot of stuff. Yeah, and I said before, and yeah, it's worth repeating, that hopefully the convolutional neural network in this case is actually learning to distinguish this stuff. So it's actually, hopefully it's learning the correct fix. So all the other parameters should be the same, the size of the image, the colors, things like that. The only difference should be that the seizure spectrograms have this pattern of the spiking activity. And yes, it's harder to see on some images than others. You can see from these examples from where the misclassification happened, that one should have been a clear cut. But our ones here, you can see there's some noise in them, so the model is getting mixed up, getting confused. Yeah, so the true label in this case is 1, prediction is 0, meaning the actual image was labeled by an expert as seizure, but the model is saying no seizure. And same happened once in the other way around, where you have this noise pattern in the spectrogram, and the model is saying this is seizure, whereas the ground truth is no, it is not. But then run 17 of training the models only was taking, we by the way have all the code for training the models down the bottom of the page, so all the source code is available. No, it's not on GitHub. Yes, it's on my website. And yes, you can just copy paste and run it in your Python. And no, the model is not deployed yet. So next stage would be, well, testing it some more and then seeing how it performs on new data, how repeatable it is, how good that these parameters are. This is all the parameters that we have tried with the different training. The results are shown, all the results are shown in here. So when you select the different training run, it will also show you what the model settings were. Yes, so you can see how the model settings are different. Then it's not necessarily much better, because you might train multiple times with the same settings, you might get slightly different results. So the question is that test accuracy, what's the noise for it is it just like 1%, or is it like 5, whatever, 10%? It seems to be within the 1%, when you keep training. So if you did training 19, 20, so on and so forth, you expect to have similar percentage accuracy results within the 1-2% of the current values. Yeah, so it can be 96, it can be 98. Yeah, so 2 plus minus whatever, 1 or 2. Maybe not. Those will have different settings. So in this case, we got 88, a batch size of 64, 100 epochs, initial learning, augmentation false, shuffling true. Optimizer items. What you can do is open it in another tab. Open it in another tab. And we have a 17, which was 98. And he will select 18. Compare the settings side by side. Wait, there was one. 4210. Yeah, that's the same. Adam optimizer. No, we had one. 16. Yeah, it was much lower. And we have 6400 false true Adam 42. Oh, right. We had an early stopping in this one. But did it actually stop early? Yes, it did. And we got a worse result. So potentially because of the not stopping early. I don't know why it shouldn't have made a difference. Yeah, if anyone knows, do let me know. Because it looks like we set early stopping, patience to 10. Sorry, I thought it was early stopping in terms of epochs. No, it's early stopping patience, whatever that means. I don't know what it means. And the result, all of a sudden, well, we did it and ended up training for longer. So instead of, in this case, 15 epochs, it trained for 30 epochs, and the result was better. So in this case, training for a bit longer, well, for doubling the training, the number of epochs did improve the results by quite a bit. We actually have another training that we're doing on a different dataset. And we're also getting pretty decent results, maybe not. Yeah, I have to see, I have to train it some more, but this is, yeah, we need more details on this. Should we start? ChatGPT is still down. Keep saying currently unavailable. Okay, now the website is back, but it will be still, should have just logged me in. It logged me out. Okay, should have been logged in by default, but the status page indicates they're still down, so maybe there's no point trying it out. So we are using Claudette. Claudette is pretty good to us. So far, so good. One thing I don't understand is with this projects is when you make changes, it's not actually updating the contents of the file. Yes, this one, if we start a new project, press mnist. That's what the dataset is called, okay? So I didn't come up with the name. And yes, it's the dataset visualization and model performance. That sounds accurate. We have this folder now. Have the models, the results, the training plots. It cannot accept PNG files, this thing. Hopeless. JSON files? Yes. It doesn't have this the folder structure as well. So we can load all this up. That's the actual dataset. So I assume I cannot load it. It's only 30 megabytes though. Can I load the NPZ files? No. You may not upload files larger than 30 megabytes. this was just larger than larger. We have the index HTML. I've already uploaded those. All right, have scripts. Yeah, the Keras model is currently 130 megabytes, so that would not work, would it? That would not work. Yeah, we're currently only using 3% of the knowledge capacity because it says that the project knowledge is currently limited to Claude's maximum context window size. It doesn't have internet browsing. capabilities, so won't be able to find information about the dataset, would it? What's the format of the raw data? No, what is the file type for the raw data? Yeah, it's only just larger than 30 megabytes. We have images and labels. How many types of labels do we have? Yeah, 2 labels, binary classification, 0 for benign, 1 for malignant, class weights, and there's imbalanced data. Yeah, there's higher weight for benign, indicates there are fewer benign samples than malignant, which is unusual, very unusual. You would expect it to be the other way around, would you? Curated and balanced. Well, it's not balanced, is it? Yeah, so we need to balance it out somehow. I think the code is doing some balancing. Does the code... So we have a training code for it. Can you check the Python script that we have? Give an explanation. Would it be worth in the HTML, in the front panel, to actually have a scroller that will allow the user to visualize the images, either samples or just all of them, that there is not too many images, is there? Yes, so the train pi is handling imbalance. Oh, so online there is the training results, so eventually we'll be comparing our training results to what's available from memory. We had it worse. Well, not surprising. Someone spent more time on this, or just had this magic algorithm that just worked. I don't know. Actually have to find that link. But yeah, but first, if we could just work with what we've got. We just started using Claude, so want to see what it's capable doing. Yeah, missing functionality. I could try a SMOT for synthetic minority samples. I have no idea what you're talking about. If you could explain your suggestions, but also how can you explain how they are relevant to the specific code that we have? You should have access to it in your knowledge. So if you can make specific advice to the code or how the front panel looks like, that will be awesome. I think it will now come up with that message saying, yeah, no, that one's okay. Claude does not have ability to run the code that it generates. Claude can make mistakes, but that would check responses. Yeah, obviously. Looking at the train pi script is a targeted improvement. Semantic minority over sampling technique. Random state 42. This creates synthetic benign samples instead of just weighting them. Okay, that's interesting. If we could, can we actually, if we're generating synthetic samples of images, can we also overview them? Can we display them on the front panel as well? Yeah, UI fixes sound good. We have a problem with the image dropdown. Even if we add this function, we're not actually using it, are we? We might need help implementing. Gonna get stuck pretty quickly. Maybe we need some jazz music to help us focus or something. And no, we don't need React. Why do we need React? Is it always defaulting to React or something, is it? Okay, we don't need React. That's good. Vanilla JavaScript will be great. Thank you very much. And while it's generating, go check out the website, provide your feedback. We have joint time frequency scattering for enhanced seizure detection. Yeah, this one's a bit funny because every time you load it or change the data length, this is synthetic data and will generate a new synthetic data. But then you can see how the scattering transform is highlighting those spikes. You can also see how the spectrum is changing. So go check it out. It's already deployed. And yes, eventually everything we do is deployed on the website. Yeah, for this new project, yeah, we have to generate the whole workflow for processing this data set, so we can start from scratch, just using the data file. It's like having a data scientist. I mean, the data is already split. It's a shame that the data file is just a bit larger than what the Claudette will accept. So that's a bit unfortunate. So can we just confirm for this project, whatever we need to do once to process the raw data we are doing in Python, but then after processing, we would like to display all the results front page. So just use HTML and JavaScript. Is that how it set up, or any changes are required? Yes, we'll start a new chat in a sec. Stop complaining. Yeah, that's a bit concerning that we're generating synthetic samples. We don't have to. I want to simplify this as well. Surely we don't need that many Python files. Can we simplify the file and folder structure and generate the updated instructions for another developer? Yeah, that's right.